Russia has a very interesting history when it comes to sports and criticism and criminal activity. So, your opinion on whether the U.S. has a similar attitude about winning like the Russians and Eastern Europeans? No, the U.S. does not have a similar attitude about winning like the Russians, Eastern Europeans do. The U.S. is dedicated to win in all sports, but they're not dedicated in the ways that the Russians and Eastern Europeans are. For example, in the book, in the Polish Football League example, they had players paying the equivalent of $35,000 in U.S. money just to buy the match. That is what you call doing anything to win. So, my personal perspective is, like I said, the U.S. is in no way like Russia. It even trickles down to their fans. Their hooligans is what they're called. They coordinate attacks on other teams. They think fighting is fun. They train together in a boxing gym. And the thing about that is anybody can be a hooligan. A doctor who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars can do it all the way down to your average everyday worker. So, specific examples of both sports culture being intense will need to be referenced. So, for example, like I said, is like the YouTube video that was on there, the Icarus, where Russia Olympic athletes were doping for a competitive edge in the Olympics. They even had a doctor by the name of Radchenko coordinate the whole thing. He was considered a dirty scientist. And during the event, they had guards that were secretly FSB agents, but they were disguised as guards. And they would walk in and take the dirty Russians' urine samples and swap them with clean ones. And the thing that makes it even worse is that their president, Vladimir Putin, was aware of it, and he was all for it. And another thing is about the hooligans is one of their members of parliament, the Russian parliament, didn't even condemn the action. He was all for it. So, is over-competitive, address whether it is such a thing to be over-competitive and is winning at all costs a bad thing. Yes, there is a time when teams can be over-competitive, even when it comes down to their fans. For example, the hooligans. I mean, they were out there fighting shirtless in single-digit weather. Like, that is over-competitive. That is crazy and absurd. And United States culture has never been like that or never will be like that. And is winning at all costs a bad thing? No, I don't think winning at all costs or having a drive to win at all costs is ever a bad thing. But when you do it dirty and illegally, like the Russian Olympic athletes did when they were doping, yes, winning at all costs can be a bad thing. Or another instance is the Serbia rivalry. I don't think a rivalry should ever get like that within a country because they're in the same country. They're all together in a sense. So my personal perspective on the whole thing is no, the U.S. will never be like Eastern Europe / Russia. Don't get me wrong, the United States loves to win, and we are one of the best, if not the best, country for athletics. But no, the United States will never will be like Russia or ever will be.